Guys, things are about to get edgy.
Hello, Moto.
Before we get started, if you enjoy the content at iGyaan, make sure to hit that like button. It helps with the algorithm a lot. If you're new here and do end up enjoying the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button with the bell notification turned to all notifications. That way you will get notified of future updates at iGyaan. Let's get started with the video. Today we are checking out the Moto Edge 40. Now it has been launched in India and the price on the box is 34,999, but it is much lower in reality, and we'll have links in the description below so that you guys can go check out the device. The phone is available in 3 colors. The two that we don't have over here have the vegan leather back finish, which I'm not really a big fan of, but a lot of people like it. This one is the matte acrylic finish, which I do prefer, and this is available in the blue color. The phone has a aluminium frame, a very rigid solid metal frame, and this one on the back has a plastic back, so the acrylic back on this color, as well as the display on the front is a OLED display, but it does have a 3D glass on it because of the curved edges. The phone also does have IP68 water resistance, which is excellent, and then the device overall seems extremely rigid and does not seem to bend or squeak or rattle despite the plastic back panel, and has a really nice build. The cover that you get with this phone is this sort of frame-esque back-only case, which only sort of covers the top and the bottom, where the edge sort of keeps touching your hand. I do recommend the case because the phone without it appears slippery, especially this matte finish one. The edges are chamfered and the metal is sort of really slippery over here. So with this case, you do get a lot of additional grip, even on the sides. So I highly recommend using the phone with the case. At the front, you also do have an in-display fingerprint sensor, which is located right at the bottom of the front of the phone. This is also fairly fast and responsive and doesn't seem to hinder in any way. You also do have face unlock and Moto Shield, which is their own security sort of interface, which allows to sort of encrypt certain data on your device. So which is great, especially if you plan on using this device for business. If we talk about the display, we've got a 6.55-inch OLED display, which is a full HD plus screen. And then you do have 144 Hertz of refresh rate and 360 Hertz of touch sampling, which is excellent for day-to-day use. And this phone does manage to perform well in day-to-day activities. We'll get into that in just a second. The display also has 1200 nits of brightness, which is excellent for outdoors as well as indoors. But that 1200 number is peak brightness. So everyday normal brightness should be around 600 to 800 nits. And we can confirm that in our final review if you guys would like us to review this device in depth. The display also has good colors as well as HDR10 plus capability. And it has excellent viewing angles along with good color reproduction. So we are enjoying the display so far. The phone also has 2 speakers or a dual stereo setup, which does support Dolby Atmos, and the speakers are loud and nice to hear. If you're especially watching content, you will enjoy both the screen as well as the speakers. But I would recommend using headphones for a better experience for yourself as well as those around you. Make sure to hit a like if you enjoy iGyaan content, because that helps with the algorithm a lot. And if you're new here and do enjoy this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and get the bell notification icon to all notifications so that you get notified about all future iGyaan updates. The haptics are average. We didn't expect a lot from such a slim phone, so we are getting what we expected, but it's not bad in any way, which is a good thing. The device is running Android 13 out of the box, and you do get a few security updates right out of the box. And then you are promised updates to Android 14 as well as Android 15. And you also have 3 years of promised security updates, and that's the minimum. You can get more than that. Even though Motorola has had a bit of a sketchy past with some of the phones not getting updates, they've been pretty consistent over the past couple of years, so this phone should do well. If you talk about battery, this phone has a 4400 milliamp hour battery, and included is an almost nice 68 watt wired charger. But here, Motorola, let me fix that for you. So included is a nice 69 watt charger. I'm just playing. And then you also do have 15 watts of wireless charging. The Indian version doesn't appear to have reverse wireless charging, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Running everything is the MediaTek Dimensity 8020 SoC, which does have a 2.6 gigahertz octa-core CPU. And then you do have the Mali G77 MC9 GPU. As far as benchmarks are concerned, we got a pretty consistent score of what you would expect from a MediaTek 8020, but for performance, the device seems to do a fairly good job of day-to-day usage, and the UI is really fast and responsive. If you're planning on using this device for gaming, apart from the slippery nature of the phone itself, the phone is pretty capable of handling gaming, and because of the 144 Hz of refresh and the 360 Hz of touch sampling, you will get a good overall experience from that. If you're planning on using this device as a work device, it does charge up fairly quickly, and with the 4400 mAh battery, we would expect it to last a long time, but all of those things will need to be tested in depth. As far as the user interface is concerned, you're more or less running a stock version of Android with the Moto app that allows some customizations, and then you do have things like gestures, so sort of chop to turn on the flashlight, and then if you twist the phone twice, it turns on the camera. You twist it again, it turns on the selfie camera. And then some other Moto gestures that again you can customize from the Moto app. You also have the peek display, which allows you to look at your notifications while the screen is locked. And then this device does have an always on display thanks to the OLED display that this phone has. The UI also has a certain edge capability. So if you put the phone down and the phone rings, you get an edge glow. And then you do have this pull-out menu that you can pull out from the side of the phone to access certain applications. Then you can set up your shortcuts, etc. over there, which is a good feature to have, especially with an Edge phone, but I personally like to keep it off. The main camera is a 50 megapixel f1.4 equipped sensor, and then you do have a 13 megapixel ultra wide. Thank God there is no macro camera with a 2 megapixel rating. Thank God there is no 2 megapixel secondary depth focus camera. So all you get are the two cameras, the 50 megapixel and the 13 megapixel, both of which really useful and usable. And they manage pretty good results from our initial tests. But here are some samples for you guys to check out. The front camera is a 32 megapixel camera, and all cameras are capable of 4K 30 FPS video and full HD 60 on the main 50 megapixel camera. I'm not sure why 4K 60 was not included, but that is something that you expect from a device of this value, but you're not getting that with the Moto Edge 40. But what you are getting is pretty good looks. So that is a decent trade-off, right? And a lot of people don't shoot 4K 60 anyway, so I guess it's not a big deal. Overall, we are pretty impressed with the Moto Edge 40. And if you guys would like us to test it in depth over the next couple of days, over the next week or so, we can do that. If you'd like a long-term review of this device, we can do that as well. Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you've not already done that. This has been Bharat. You've been watching iGyaan. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.